Joining me right now is Texas Congressman and House Ways and Means Committee member Jodey Arrington. Congressman, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Did you understand what President Biden just said?
Nobody understands what he's saying, and nobody believes what he's saying if they do understand him, because they see the actual numbers. We've had illegal border crossings up over 500% year over year. It's at a 21-year high. And we're just seeing crime and drugs and gangs pouring into this country at unprecedented rates. And the people of Texas and border communities all along the southern border feel abandoned by their president, who is not faithfully executing the laws of the land and not providing for a common defense. It is wide open, and it is chaos, and it is a direct result of the irresponsible policies and posture of President Biden, Kamala Harris, and his administration. So, no, it's disingenuous at best what he's saying.
Well, I mean, it's really bizarre why the administration is not doing more about this. In fact, we saw 188,000 apprehensions in the month of June. We've got tens of thousands of gotaways, people coming into the country. We don't know their intentions. We're seeing them on video camera. They're here. And then there's the COVID situation. COVID up 900% at the border. I mean, maybe that's why the administration said that they claimed that they're rethinking the plan to lift Title 42. That is a COVID-19 restriction that blocked hundreds of thousands of migrants from crossing the border since last year. Congressman, the Trump administration used Title 42 to send people back. Is this an example that the Trump policy worked and the Biden administration may be realizing it? What are you expecting on Title 42?
Well, I expect for the president and this administration to put the American people's safety first. So beyond security crisis, not defending the border, beyond the humanitarian disaster, it is a public safety crisis. And that's why President Trump used Title 42, among other tools, to protect our citizens against the spread of COVID. As you mentioned, 900% increase in COVID positive cases in the last 2 weeks of illegal immigrants crossing our border. If we inundate the health system, then we have to take extreme measures which hurt the American people, which hurts the Texas economies and Texas families. And so the president needs to use Title 42 responsibly, as President Trump did. I don't know whether he will or not, because he's been talking about phasing that out, just like he's reversed all the other Trump policies at this point.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. And that comment there in that town hall last night was really about creating housing for these people. Nothing to do, no deterrents to stop them from coming, just expanding the level of housing, which, of course, is going to cost taxpayers that much more money. And speaking of money, let's talk about the plans on the table. Infrastructure, for example. Senate Republicans blocked the effort yesterday to begin the debate on the more than $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal. It's still under negotiation. The Republicans say, we don't know what is in it. So the vote failed with 51 against, 49 in favor, short of the 60 votes needed to open the debate. What are your thoughts here? Talks on the bill are expected to continue, and then there's that other $3.5 trillion spending bill that's likely going to happen through reconciliation later on this year.
Well, Schumer put this procedural vote prematurely to put pressure on Republicans. I'm very proud of the Republicans and some of the Democrats in the Senate for focusing on infrastructure as most Americans define it, which is roads and bridges, and also taking care to steward taxpayer resources with real offsets to pay for it. And so I'm glad they're being deliberative about that after spending trillions of dollars in deficit spending and adding to our debt and exacerbating the potential debt crisis, which, by the way, we won't be able to print and borrow to bail out of. So they're doing the right thing. I think all Americans, and certainly most Republicans I know in the House, are hopeful for something that is really bipartisan and responsible and will help accelerate our recovery and future economic growth.
Meanwhile, Congressman, real quick before you go, Nancy Pelosi yesterday blocked Jim Jordan and Jim Banks from being on the January 6th commission. Where does this go from here? Oh,
I think that it was a political sham from the outset. I don't think she was ever intending to be a true, legitimate, objective, fact-finding endeavor. It was impeachment 3.0. It's more political theater and sideshow instead of governing our country. And it's almost like the Democrats, wow, they can't do anything without President Trump in the picture. They need to focus on the people's business. What a state of affairs. And now the American people are waiting for progress. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much. You too, Maria. We'll keep following all of the above. Jodey Arrington.